This meeting is being recorded.
So good evening, everyone. This is Sharanya from third year CA. Now, as a part of our English Lab Skills course, now I'm going to do case study with Mr. Aniruddh, who has just started up his career in Apps Associate. So, good evening, brother.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Uh, Very much bored here because I want to come home and sit with my parents because today is the festival day, right?
Yeah, that's really very sad for you. Yeah, so as you are also a student of Lendi Institute of Technology, so let me know what was your personal experience with ELCS lab and what all the benefits that you got from it.
Actually, LCS Lab is best thing that happened to me in Lendi because that's the place where I love to be enjoyed a lot because in all the labs we'll go to this because I belong to computer science department. You of course you are.
Yeah.
We're all going to the technical labs and all. We'll just sit in front of the monitor and you know what we do with these keyboards and but in this lab we can interact with each other and you can make new friends there or you will be getting known to what's your strength areas when you have to develop in that. So and in that perspective English lab that ELCS lab helped me a lot.
Yeah, good. So as you face many interviews, so what are the important requirements while facing the interviews?
uh, Important requirement is always be cut to the point, like from our school days to till engineering we started means we learned to write these lengthy answers, right?
Yeah.
So in the field means in this practices and all, you don't need the lengthy answer. You only need this crisp and cut point. So always learn to explain the thing in a faster way. Example, if I ask you to tell me about the Python language, you just have to you can simply say that it's a programming language. It has some inbuilt features. So it is very much helpful and in this artificial intelligence and in this field. So this is what the crisp point. Instead, if you start saying from this origin of it, like the man who invented was the fan of this England Python something circus, so he named it as a Python and all. So you don't have to keep the unnecessary things in there. So that's the first thing. And second thing, always carry your earphones while giving or taking an interview
Okay.
because interviewers mostly wouldn't be in the work from home mode. They always everything is changing back to normal. So most of them would be giving or taking the interviews from the offices, right? So they might feel the disturbance because in the office everything wouldn't be under control of ourselves. If now I'm giving my interview in this means I'm just taking this session in my room. I just have to make arrangements by sending my friends out. Okay, my friends would do that. But in the office, the situations will be different. Maybe there will be the training sessions going on or the HR's reading. So always carry an earphone. That's the second thing. And third, never ever say a negative answer. Say that in a positive way. Instead, if you say that if they are, I'm not just taking it anything. Don't just I just failed in an exam for Java. If I say why do you have this extra, it's just a scenario I'm just creating. If they ask me why just you have this extra paper in the certificates, I just say I cannot say that I failed in Java. Instead, you can say that there's a negative result there. So it would be creating a scene that you are not taking into the second part, means second priority. Your communication skills will also be tested. So these three things would always help you.
Yeah.
And of course, the fourth one will be the final one, technical. You just keep it. It is which is mandatory and which is need not be. It will not be a suggestion if I say it. It is a mandatory point. So you have to follow this. You should be strong with your technical basics. And
Thank you
that's
for your suggestions. And so, which part of ELCS lab activity do you find more interested in, and how that helps you out?
more interested would always be the group discussion for me, but I'm not good at debating part in the beginning because I'm have the capacity to speak on a point, but I don't know how to support or how to defend it. So for me, the debate activity helped me a lot to show that okay, this will be my point, and I need to search for the some other points to defend it. Because in a group discussion, you are just saying a point or expressing your you, It would be it will be like one to many discussion. Like you will be sharing the point with whole the group sitting with the chair with a mic. You will be looking at all and you will say that. But in the debate, you will have sorry, in debate you have to say the point and you have to defend it yourself. Like if I say that I love Python, it would be best for group discussion. But if I start saying I love Python because it has some extra packages which helps me to code faster, and it's also quick interpretation process. So and this the all the points will be the defenders, and the main point is I love Python. So and that's what the debate works. So in that aspect, yeah, ELSS has helped me with the debate sessions. They continuously kept almost for 3 weeks. They conducted only debate sessions because right how our sessions goes by
Yeah.
10 groups. So two was one versus one, and it takes a group to go for for a week. Like complete lab session would be for two groups only, so that we can explore many points. Like they would use it to sometimes they use it to control us. They even stopped us and say that you should defend your point, you should not be saying a question to your point. Like you may say I love Python, then if you ask me why, it means why not, you should not be answering like why not, you should be
Mm.
saying the points. So always, so in that's how LCS lab is more interesting for me.
Okay, thank you. And you have faced verbal tests in your interviews, right? So, what is your experience in facing it? So, could you please tell us?
So basically, in my point of view, verbal test is not for the testing your communication skills. It would be mostly for scrutinizing part. Like they want to if they want to reduce the number, they could just tighten that section, because language is like an ocean. If you the deeper you go, there will be the content more. Even you go to the end of the point, you will be having some new points starting from there. So if they want to reduce the number, or if they want to tighten the section, that would be the thing. They'll be like, you may be good at math because and Google is available for us. Even if you want to do something, if you maybe you failed in one test, you'll definitely practice again, you'll do that. But wherever you go, that a plus b whole square would be same. A plus b whole square in the anywhere in the world, it would be same, a square plus b square plus 2ab. But in English there would be many exceptions. Like sometimes you need not to use this article and before the vowels.
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever
Yes.
observed that you just get a tick mark, I mean into mark, for writing an article in the paper, and if you ask that, they'll say that it's an exception and there'll be some point related to it.
Mm.
So from in my point perspective, it's just a scrutinizing part. If they want to reduce the score, they'll just tighten that. And coming to my experience, mostly come I haven't faced any difficulty, but I love the part of they having some verbal tests also.
Okay.
So some companies would be choosing you to LS testing your listening and speaking skills at a time. Like they will send you the message note, and you have to listen and you have to speak it again, or you have to fill in the blanks and all. So those parts would be very much interesting. My experience is always better because I had faced only 4 interviews and all the 4 were good.
And the resume part, how it's going to play a major role in facing the interviews? Could you please give us a few tips while preparing the resume?
Resume is the first thing that takes you to the interview. See, I think you're a third year, right? So
Yes.
when you come to the fourth year, whatever the company, even you apply on campus or off campus, the first thing that our TPO or you do is to submit your resume. So it's the first step. Means it will be showing you whether you are. It's simply think it like an entry pass. You're
Yes.
just having an entry pass. So valid entry pass should be there. Like you are having instead, I could say instead of entry pass, I could say that as ID card. If I'm holding the Lendi ID card, I could be allowed into Lendi college. If I'm having the MVZR ID card, I couldn't be allowed to the Lendi college directly because I need some extra permissions, right? In the
Yes.
same way, for the job, your resume should be similar. Like for the job description, if for example, if the developer role it is given, you should mention something like your programming language, languages, the things you are good at or certifications you are done in that. If it is for some data analyst role, you should be showing some other roles. Or if it is for support or for testing, so your resume should always match the description of the job. Because most I actually forgot to tell this point earlier, because even if you apply on the on campus, it would be within the hands of our people in the upper
Placements.
hierarchy. They would be doing all that. But when you apply on the off campus, most of the time people faces the issue that we applied for the job, we did not get a mail of written test also. Why company is rejecting me? Because everybody, you apply to every company, right? But you should check with the description, and everything is automated, and this algorithm works on that. Already in this given that there's the requirement for data analyst role. Instead, I could say it as a SQL developer. But you had mentioned your credentials with the Java, Python, and all. But where is the SQL? They needed the SQL, right?
Yes.
So your resume preparation should be in the way that it has to be. Like as I said, you mention all your things, but mention with the description. That should be match with the description of the job, and then sure shot you will get a valid entry, and then it goes on with the process and exam and all. And second thing, hide some of your talents or whatever you want to mention in a resume, because there would be a definitely every interview you will face, the first question would be tell me about yourself or introduce yourself, and the second would be tell me something other than your resume. If you keep everything in the resume, you will not have the time to speak. See, interviews would be working on the one concept, that how much the time we taken from them, not they gave us. Like if I ask you a question, as I said earlier, not the lengthy one, your answer should be clear,
Yes.
to the point, crisp but sharp. But in this section you can take how much you want, because it's the time you have to grab, and it's what brings their attention to you. Like, okay, he's a good communicator, or he can speak well. So maybe they have the good communication skills. Communication skills are the best things to have. If you are good at communication, definitely you'll pass with this round. So that's the second thing. So for that purpose, you need to hide some of the points. Like example, you cannot say to the manager directly, like if you have mentioned everything, if they ask the question, you cannot say that, okay, I hadn't mentioned in the resume that I like pani puri. If you say that, it's not a valid thing to say, right?
Yes.
Because all the people who interview are not the HRs. As I had faced with my present I'm the employee of apps associate. I faced the interview with my vice president. He's the vice president of my company. I thought he was some HR, and I was simply chilling and sitting in my chair and talk with the. I just made a conversation funnily. He's also too much for me. He made fun of me, and everything went well. After my interview, I just googled about him to. In the LinkedIn, I want to connect with him. So I just searched and I just read the description. I'm shocked because he's the vice president and he's the one who controls all the operations of apps associates in India. So if I had say made anything wrong, it would be gone right. So that's why you should always keep something hide, so that it could be an added plus for your. It means, as I said, it can be added time to speak by you. It means the spoken time by the person should always be the you, not the interviewer. You just need the one-liner question, and you will be the one who is giving the answers. So these two points to the resume. And third one, no, like what I can say, never ever make it awkward, or you want to look at something like a posh, and or like you have some templates in that. So
Yes.
always make it look simple and crisp. As I said, crisp is the main thing you have to follow now, because all the algorithms are searching for the keywords in it. Like in the 10th, maybe you are my junior, right? In our 10th class, when I'm writing my board exams, we used to have paragraph writing or a
Yes.
letter writing. In that, they give the key points, means these are the keywords should be in the letter. So same the way algorithms also, they will be searching for the keywords. So for that point, you should not make it something newer and designer. Just keep it simple. It goes on a good path. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been nice talking to you. And thanks for accepting my request and getting into this meeting.
Oh, that's pleasure is mine.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.